Hey guys, tonight we're trading our banana leaf shorts for a leather loincloth and a very questionable looking helmet. We're diving into the heart of the Roman Empire. Forget the noble senators in clean togas and the epic chariot races from the movies. We're talking about the gritty, sweaty, and scientifically fascinating reality of being a gladiator. This is a world where your life expectancy is measured in minutes. Your diet consists mainly of fermented fish guts, and your new apex predator isn't a dinosaur. It's a guy named Brutus with a giant net and a trident. You think you're tough because you hit the gym 3 times a week? Trust me, you wouldn't last a single round in the Colosseum, and we're going to prove it. If you enjoy watching Kai get brutally humbled by Roman engineering for your educational amusement, a quick like or a subscribe would be amazing. As always, I'm fascinated to see our global classroom. Drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, grab a banana for purely ironic moral support. Say a quick prayer to Jupiter, and let's find out how quickly you'd become lion food. The first 5 minutes. Congratulations, you're an investment. You haven't fallen through a time portal this time. Your situation is much more mundane and somehow much worse. You've been sold. Maybe you were a prisoner of war, a condemned criminal, or just someone with a crippling amount of debt. The good news? You're not going to assault line. The bad news? You've been sold to a ludus, a gladiator school. You are shoved through a heavy wooden gate into a dusty courtyard. The first thing that hits you is the smell. It's a thick, coppery blend of sweat, old blood, hay, and cheap wine. The second thing is the sound. The rhythmic clank of wooden swords, the grunts of exertion, and the sharp commands of a trainer. You are surrounded by some of the most dangerous men in the Roman Empire, and they all look incredibly annoyed. A man with a scarred face and muscles like coiled ropes approaches you. This is the lanista, the owner of the school. He doesn't see a person. He sees a piece of property, an investment he needs to turn a profit on before it gets broken. He shoves a wooden sword into your hand.
Wow, this
Welcome
is
to
heavy.
the family, he grunts. Congratulations. Your life now has a clear-cut financial goal. Survive long enough for your boss to make his money back. The first day, welcome to Hell's Gym. Your first day of training is designed to do one thing: break you. Forget your modern workout routine. This is a brutal, all-day regimen of conditioning and combat drills. You swing a rudis, a wooden sword that is twice as heavy as the real thing, until your arms feel like they're going to fall off. You hold a massive, heavy wooden shield until your neck and back are screaming in protest. Fun fact number 1. Gladiators were some of the best trained athletes of the ancient world. Their training, overseen by a doctor, a specialized trainer, not a physician, was a highly disciplined and scientific process. They drilled endlessly, learning the specific moves and techniques of their combat style, whether it was the heavily armed Murmillo or the agile Retiarius with his net and trident. You are clumsy, you are weak, you are pathetic. The other gladiators, hardened veterans with bodies covered in scars, look at you with a mixture of pity and contempt. They're not your friends, they are your colleagues in a very, very dangerous profession. Some of them might even be your opponent one day. Your first day ends with you collapsing onto a straw mat in a cramped, stone cell, every muscle in your body on fire. Let's talk about your diet. You might imagine gladiators feasting on roasted meats and fine wine. Wrong. Myth-busting time. Gladiators were nicknamed hordearii, which literally means barley men. Your diet is almost entirely vegetarian. It's a carb-heavy, mushy concoction of barley, beans, and lentils. This wasn't because your lanista was cheap, though he was. It was strategic. This diet was designed to build a thick layer of subcutaneous fat over your muscles. Why? That layer of fat protected you from minor cuts. A shallow slash that might look spectacular to the crowd would hit fat, not muscle or a vital organ, keeping you in the fight longer. You are essentially being fattened up for the slaughter. And for flavor, you get garum. Fine. Fact number 2. Garum was the ketchup of the Roman world. It was a thick, pungent sauce made by layering fish guts, salt, and herbs in a pot and letting it ferment in the sun for months. The liquid that drained off was garum. It was salty, savory, and probably tasted like a fish's worst nightmare. What's the grossest condiment you've ever tried? Let me know in the comments if it beats fermented fish guts. So you eat your bland, gritty mush, flavored with fish gut sauce, and wash it down with cheap, sour wine. It's not a diet designed for pleasure. It's fuel designed to keep a valuable piece of fighting livestock on its feet. After months of brutal training, the day finally comes. You've been booked for a show at the Colosseum. The morning of the fight, you're given a massive, protein-rich meal, your first real taste of meat in months. Then comes the Pampa, the opening parade. You march into the arena with the other gladiators, dressed in elaborate, colorful armor, while the roar of 50,000 spectators washes over you. It's a terrifying, intoxicating sound. You are in the waiting area below the arena floor, a dark, chaotic labyrinth of tunnels called the hypogeum. You can hear the sounds from above, the roar of the crowd, the trumpets, and the growls of the wild animals in their cages. The smell of blood, sand, and nervous sweat is overwhelming. An elevator, a crude wooden lift powered by a system of ropes and pulleys, hoists you up to the arena floor. You emerge into the blinding sunlight. The scale of the Colosseum is staggering. It's a wall of screaming faces, all staring at you. Your opponent is not a lion. It's not a seasoned champion. It's another rookie, a man just as terrified as you are. The fight begins. It's not an elegant dance of swords. It's a clumsy, desperate, and ugly brawl. You swing your sword wildly. You hide behind your shield. You are fighting on pure adrenaline. You get wounded. A cut on your arm. It's not deep, but it's bleeding. You stumble and fall. Your opponent stands over you, his sword at your throat. This is the moment of truth. Myth-busting time. Not all fights were to the death. A fight could be stopped by the referee, the Summa Rudes. If a gladiator was defeated, they could appeal for mercy, missio, by raising a finger. The final decision rested with the editor, the sponsor of the games, who would often gauge the crowd's reaction. The thumbs down for death is a Hollywood invention. The actual signal was likely a thumb to the throat. The crowd is roaring. You have fought bravely. The editor gives the signal. Mercy. You have survived your first fight. You are carried out of the arena, bleeding and exhausted, but alive. Let's say you survive a few fights. You're a rising star. You might even have fans who leave you gifts. But the arena isn't the only thing that can kill you. The city of Rome itself is a death trap. Threat number 1, disease. Roman cities were marvels of engineering, but they were also incredibly unsanitary. The Tiber River was a dumping ground for sewage and waste. Diseases like typhoid and cholera were rampant. A simple stomach bug could easily kill you. Threat number 2, lead poisoning. The Romans were famous for their aqueducts, but they were also famous for using lead pipes to transport that water. Fun fact number 3, lead was everywhere in Rome. It was used in pipes, in cooking pots, and even as a sweetener for wine. Over time, this led to chronic, low-level lead poisoning across the population, which could cause everything from nerve damage to madness. That slightly sweet wine you're drinking to celebrate your victory? It's slowly poisoning you. So how long do you last? Let's be brutally honest. Your chances are terrible. Scenario 1, you're a coward. In your first fight, you refuse to engage. The crowd boos. The editor, unimpressed by your lack of showmanship, gives the signal for death. You last about 10 minutes in the arena. Scenario 2, you're a movie hero. You fight with reckless, aggressive abandon. You might win a few fights spectacularly, earning the love of the crowd. But your high-risk style means you're bound to suffer a fatal wound sooner rather than later. You last maybe 5 to 10 fights a year if you're a prodigy. Scenario 3, you're a realist. You survive your first fight. You learn that being a gladiator isn't about killing, it's about putting on a good show. You fight defensively. You learn how to take a shallow, flashy-looking cut that bleeds a lot but doesn't do real damage. You learn how to read the crowd and play to their emotions. You might actually survive long enough to become a veteran. Some gladiators did. A rare few even survived long enough to retire, being awarded a wooden sword, the rudis, as a symbol of their freedom. But the average career was brutally short, with a mortality rate estimated to be as high as 1 in 10 for any given fight. Your end comes not from a spectacular death blow, but from a simple cut on your leg that gets infected. With no antibiotics, the infection turns into gangrene. You die a slow, feverish death in the Ludus infirmary. You last maybe 3 years. The simple, boring truth is that you do not survive. You are a product of a world with safety regulations and modern medicine. You are a banana in a world that sees you as a disposable piece of entertainment. You exist because your ancestors managed to survive worlds just as brutal as this one, through luck, resilience, and by not volunteering for jobs that involve fighting lions for a living. So the next time you watch a Gladiator movie, just remember Kai, your hypothetical avatar. Remember the gritty bread, the fermented fish sauce, and the constant, gnawing fear. And be very, very glad that your job doesn't require you to wear a helmet to work. Thanks for watching Banana Edu. Remember to hit subscribe. It's way less painful than a trident to the chest.